Hello everyone and welcome to Ferris Sports Update on the Bulldog Sports Network. I'm your host Rob Bentley, and today for our final episode of the 2010-2011 athletics season, we'll talk Bulldog Athletics as we review the past year here in Ferris State Athletics. And with us today, longtime sports reporter, blogger, journalist, Sandy Gholston. Welcome to the show.
Rob, thanks for having me.
Sandy, it's been another successful year for Bulldog Athletics all the way around, but to get it started, talk about maybe some of the success the Bulldogs have had overall this past season.
Well, I think when you look at the success that the Bulldogs have had in athletics, I think probably the sport that most people are going to look at first would probably be the men's basketball team and the great run that they had, and Coach Saul and his team. The staff did a great job of getting the team together, and of course led by Justin Keenan, the All-American, the preseason player of the year, and won some national accolades as well as player of the year. So I think when you talk about team success and individual success, you probably start with the men's basketball team is really setting the bar for a successful year in Bulldog Athletics.
Of course, before the men's basketball team, we started in the fall. The football team got off to a great start.
Yes.
Men's golf won a GLIAC championship. Women's cross country, another successful run to the national championships. How did that fall really maybe set the stage for what Bulldog Athletics has been able to do this year?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you talked about a couple sports sometimes that don't get maybe the recognition that they deserve, and you mentioned men's golf, and they've been successful and with a championship, and you mentioned women's cross country, and they've had some individuals that have done tremendously well over the years, and also had some team success as well. So a lot of success really right there in the fall season. You mentioned football getting off to a really nice start as well. So really a lot of success right in the fall season to really get things going, and that really kind of set the tone for what happened in the winter season with men's basketball. But you're right, some nice success in the fall season.
And of course, as you mentioned, the winter, men's basketball obviously reaching the NCAA Division II Sweet 16. Great run at the end of the year. One of the nice highlights was them being able to cut down the nets at Wink Arena after a win over Findlay late in the season at home.
You know, you tell you what, when you talk about memories that players take away, and everybody in basketball, you think about being able to cut down the nets, and I think that was an emotional time. And our university, one of our university photographers, Ed Hyde, was able to get into the locker room after the game, and guys had the nets, and they were holding the nets, and you could just really tell it was an emotional experience, particularly for some of the seniors, like fifth-year seniors that had been around for a while and had gone through some ups and downs. So it was really a great time and a great celebration of men's basketball, and anytime you beat Findlay, that's always a good thing. So great success right there, and obviously cutting the nets down at home was a tremendous celebration for the fans as well in Wink Arena.
And another team in the winter season that did very well was the Bulldog hockey team. Had another nice season, ranked among the top 20 teams for much of the year, just narrowly missed getting to Joe Louis Arena for the second straight year. Talk about Bulldog hockey and what that program means to the university and how they fared this past season.
Well, I think not only what they mean to the university, but really to the community. And I think the community and the university really have embraced Bulldog hockey, and it really means a lot to kids at all levels. And I think the hockey team really had a great season, had a really nice season, I should say, and made a nice run, kind of got to the end there, and they were in the CCHA tournament, and you know, right there going against Coach Blashill and Western Michigan right there, and not quite able to pull it out, but certainly not due to any lack of effort and lack of hard play. So great success that Coach Daniels has really been able to perform at Ferris, and hopefully they'll be able to keep that going. They've had some nice recruits that are coming in next year and in the years to come, so hopefully those guys will be able to step in and fill some voids in the future as hopefully keep that success going and then take it up another level or two.
Of course, a couple guys that the hockey team will be losing, Pat Nagel, Zach Redmond, both NHL signees, All-Americans this past year. Ferris State had a few other really standout individuals that were named All-America teams. Justin Keenan, as you mentioned, the Player of the Year in Division II basketball. Tina Muir in women's cross country. And just some outstanding individuals there in terms of student athletes. Ariel Goodson, another one in volleyball that was an All-American.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head right there when you said student athletes, and all of those that you mentioned are great student athletes. You mentioned Ariel Goodson in the fall, Tina Muir, tremendous in cross country, Ariel Goodson in volleyball as well, and then Zach Redmond and Pat Nagel in hockey. We talked about Justin Keenan. Just some great individual seasons that we've seen from our student athletes, and it's really great to see them be able to shine and get that national recognition, because the recognition that they get reflects on their team, and it also reflects positively on the university as a whole.
And of course, we're in the spring season now. The weather hasn't been great, but in terms of the spring sports, Ferris traditionally has done very well in a lot of those sports, and a number of teams right now on the verge of possibly making NCAA competition. Men's golf already has secured an NCAA bid, so another strong spring here for some of the Ferris teams.
Absolutely, men's golf has already solidified their spot. You know, women's golf is going to be looking to do some things as well here in the spring. Softball still looking to hit their stride. They've been able to get some games going after being snowed and rained out and weathered out in several games. So they're looking to hit their stride as well as they inch closer and closer to the GLIAC tournament. So track and field, obviously some individuals in track and field will be looking to try to compete at the national level as well. So lots of great performers looking to make their mark here in regional and national competition.
Some great events this past year as well. I think first of all, maybe you start with men's basketball, the 131 showdown at Van Andel Arena. A great crowd for that game in a
Yes.
nice environment. You had the 1,000 win celebration for men's basketball late in the year against Grand Valley at home, and the GLIAC tournament for the men's basketball team as well. So some nice events that they were able to be a part of this year.
Well, I think the 131 showdown, and there was a lot of hype coming into the 131 showdown. A lot of people really, from Grand Valley's standpoint and from Ferris's standpoint, really building up to that game and really lived up to it with a couple of great performances. So lots to cheer for. And then, of course, the celebration of 1,000 wins, a lot of great alums coming back for men's basketball. Just so many great things going on with our athletic teams and great events. Not just what happened on the court, but also events surrounding what happened on the court as well.
You mentioned it, some great tailgate events as well. The hockey team had another tailgate on ice event that was very well attended.
Packed,
and
yes.
Some of those events that really help draw alumni back to the university and really play a big role in helping promote the athletic programs.
Yeah, I think that starts with collaboration. I think when you look at the tailgate on ice and working with our alumni relations department and athletics, a great collaboration right there that helps bring the alumni back together and kind of capitalizes on the great feeling of being around Bulldog hockey and tailgating, which is something you associate with football, but we do it indoors to kind of capitalize on the hockey action. So it's a great event, and it was packed, and certainly a great celebration of Bulldog hockey.
And of course, these Ferris State teams always taking on some competitive programs, and the GLIAC certainly this year a couple new schools in Ohio, Dominican, and Lake Erie. We've seen some action in the CCHA in terms of possibly some changeover here in the next few years. Talk about the conference implications for the Ferris State Athletics teams and how that plays into the Bulldogs' success.
Yeah, well, you know, when you look at the GLIAC expanding, we saw Lake Erie College come in, and of course Ohio Dominican University, as the GLIAC has expanded a little bit into Ohio and added some new teams, and that creates some different dynamics and creates some new rivalries down in Ohio. And then, you know, I think that really is going to certainly help create those rivalries with those teams in Ohio, and then also the CCHA with the Big Ten schools leaving. That's going to definitely create some interest right there. So, big news.
Big news and another big season for Ferris State Athletics.
Yeah, absolutely, and just great to be a part of it in so many different capacities, whether it's blogging, photography, video, radio with you and I and Jason Day-Day. Just great for me to be a part of it, and I enjoy every minute of it.
Well, thanks, Sandy, for being with us today, and looking forward to another big year next year.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
That's going to do it for the final episode of Ferris Sports Update on the Bulldog Sports Network. Thanks for tuning in, and a reminder, you can follow all the action online at ferrisstatebulldogs.com.